Hello. So for this video, I'll be demonstrating the use of loops, if, and even how to create random numbers. And also, since I'm going to create a GUI application, we'll be using maybe a JText area to display our output. So the problem here, or the problem that we'll be doing, is we're going to write a program to generate random numbers and display these numbers. So generate the random numbers, then we display these numbers, and then count and also display how many of these numbers are even and how many are odd. So again, we generate random numbers, we display these numbers, count how many are even and how many are odd. So analysis. So what are the things that we need to do here? So we need our code to generate random numbers. For our output, we also need a text area to display the output using a GUI form or the JFrame form. And we need loops to create and display string for the output and set or append this to the text area or GUI form. So the solution is to create the project. So let's first do that. So let's create the project. So Java with Ant, Java application. Just click next. Then I place here if demo. Then so let's say just if demo for my main class, and then I just click finish. So I have here now my main program. Let me close these two programs here. This is my main program, and then I'll be adding a JFrame form. So where's my project? Here's my project, if demo. So I'll just right click, new, and then look for JFrame form. Then I have here my class name. So let's say if demo GUI, and then I'll just click finish. So that's the class name of my form. So here's now my form. So I just click source to view the source code, click design to view the form itself. So I want to make it a little bigger. I want to add a panel. Make this bigger. I'm going to leave some space below for my buttons. And then let's say I would like to add a border. So border, titled border. So title, if demo, and I would like to make like font bold and bigger. Okay, so click OK. So that's my title bar. And then I would like to add a text area inside my J panel. So that's a text area. So border, let's say I would like no border on my text area. So that's it. And then I click again on my text area. I would like to change the font to a mono space font. So I'm going to look for Consolas. Consolas, let's say the size is 16. I want size 16. Then click OK. So that's now my text area. And then we're going to add 3 buttons. Okay. The first button, let's say I'm going to call this my display button. And the next button, I want to change the text to clear, and I would like to change this one to close. Now I can also change the name properties of this, but wait, I'll first make their width equal. So same size, same width, same size, same height. Okay, let's make the buttons bigger. Okay, so I have here now my buttons. And then what else? What else do I need? I would like to change their name properties. So click on display, click on code, then look for the variable name. Let's say I want to change this one to btn display. So the name of this button now is btn display. This one, btn clear. And this one, btn close. So I have changed the name properties or the variable names for this. So let me do my close button first. So you notice here, this is now the name of the button, btn close. So I would like to place here my code. This dot dispose. So this will close my form. So let's go back. So here's a project. We created the project. We added a JFrame form and we placed the content. So that's what we have done so far. So we have placed a JPanel, the JText area, and then the buttons to display the output, clear the text area, and close the application. So that's what we have done and what I have shown you so far. So the next now is we add the codes to the button. Actually, we have done that already for our close button. And for the button that generates the output, so we create a random object that imports the necessary packages. So let's do that first. Create a random object. So let's go back to my code. So this is now the source code of the GUI form. So before the public class, I would like to add here my import. So what package are we going to use for random numbers? So we just import java.util.asterisk. So that package contains the generation of the random number. And then so it creates a random, that is the object, or we create the object after that. So that's a class. So we create the object. We now double click this one. So this is now the method wherein we're going to place the action when we press the button. So first, generate a random object. I don't know if that's a property. So how do we generate that? Random R. So random is the name of the class, R is the name of the object, is equal to new random. So that's how we created the instance of the random class. So R is an instance of the random class, and R will be used to generate random numbers. So let's go back to our PowerPoint. Then loop to generate string output. So within the string output, we count how many are odd and even. then add this to string, display the output. So we'll be doing that. First, so that's our string output, string str output. And then that is our counter for our even number. So that's now our counter for add numbers. Okay, and then I didn't specify. So I didn't specify how many numbers we want to generate. So let's generate 10 numbers. We can add more if we want. Say 15 numbers. So let's say n will be the number of integers that I'll be generating. So we'll generate the string output using a loop. Or let's say I equals 0, I is lesser than n. So that means 1 to 15. So this will loop 15 times. So wait. So I want to store the number that we generate in inum. So inum is equal to r dot next int. Let's say its range is only up to 999, so I can place here up to 1000 is my boundary. Okay, so that will generate random numbers. Okay, so after that, what are we going to do? We display that, so we have to add that to our string output. Well, let's say string dot format 5d inum plus \n. So what I did here is I will be joining all of the strings to str output. So I use here a plus to join the string, and I use string.format to format my number into 5d. That means it will allocate 5 spaces, and then added \n so that the next string output will go to the next line. So we test now if the number is odd or even, and then we count. So we just place here if inum, then we get the remainder if we divide the number by 2. If it is 0, if the remainder is 0, then that means the number is even. If not, then that means the number is odd. So I have here now my even So I have here now the count of the odd and even. Okay. So after that, I will not be displaying this. I'll be displaying that after my loop. So after the loop, first let us display. So we have JText area 1. That's the name of the JText area. As you can see here, that the correct text area 1 and set text. So we have set text, right? So str output, then we add an even. So instead of set text, we use append, because if we set, then it will just remove the previous one. So we use \n plus add numbers equals plus I add \n even numbers equals I even. So hopefully that will generate our output. So let's try to have a recap. So we created the random number string output, wherein we're going to place our output later, our counter for even and add, our loop control variable, the number of loops. So you can change this one to any number you would like, and then the number is the number generated. So we have a loop from 0 to n, so n times. We generate the number, and then what we did is to add that number to our string, because this string will be displayed in our JText area later. At the same time, we now have to count how many are even and odd. So we test if the number here is divisible by 2. So we get the remainder. If the remainder is 0, then that means it is even. So we add 1 to even. If not, we add 1 to odd. So after that, we can display the str output, and then later on append our result for odd and even. So clear. We just clear the JText area. So do we have a clear? No. So we don't have a clear. We use set text. Then we just use a blank. We use a blank string for our text. So we have now our buttons. So after that, after we're through with our code, we go to our demo, and we write here a code to open or create an instance of the form we have created. So the name of the class is if demo GUI f equals new if demo GUI. The next is f dot set visible true. Okay, so I believe we are through with our code. So let's run the program. Hopefully we don't have any more errors. So here's our program, if demo. So we first test our close. So it's running. We run the program again. Display. So there is our output. We displayed 15 random numbers. Then it counted how many are odd and how many are even. So you can do that manually. I'm not doing it manually. So that's our output. So you notice it's also scrollable because the JText area automatically adds scroll bar. So if you click clear, it clears our output. Click close, this close the button. So that's our program. That's our solution for this problem. And thank you very much for viewing this video.